Hello, welcome. This is Miki Wright with Your Pricing Matters, and I'm here today with a very special guest. She's actually one of my graduates from the Luxury Business Blueprint, formerly known as the Luxury Hairstylist Blueprint, and her name is Sheniqua Riley. So, welcome, Sheniqua.
Hello,
I'm
Mickey.
so
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to have you here with us. I want to kind of dive right into your story. It's like this is a time that we're setting aside to meet with some of my graduates, and we'll do kind of like a case study where it's like we'll look at where they were before they started, what the process was like for them to go through it, and where they are on the other side of it. So I'm excited, and I think this may be helpful for a lot of people who are watching. So I appreciate you coming today, and I appreciate your openness and willingness to, just share your story. So we appreciate you being here. So tell us a little bit about your background.
My journey started when I graduated from high school. I started off and I went to college. As a matter of fact, I went to Denmark Tech for cosmetologist, and I went there for about maybe 6 months. Came out for the summer. Was at home doing some braids, and a young lady said, "Can you braid my hair?" And she said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to school for cosmetology. She said, well, how about come to the shop and do an application to become a shampoo assistant? And I did this, that. I went, did application, and got hired as a braider. And so I worked the summer, and by the end of the summer, I didn't want to go back to school. So the owner was like, well, let me train you. He said, you can become a barber, a master barber stylist. You can do OJT. So I took that route. So I stayed in the shop with them for probably about 2-3 years. Did OJT, took about 1,920 hours to get licensed in OJT for master barber, hair care specialist. And that's my journey just started from there. But hair was not my first thing. I must put that out there. It was not. I wanted to do computer engineering, and just you don't know what your life fate is going to be. So I kind of felt in my destiny trail. I didn't know it was going to be my destiny trail until 27 years later. And here
Okay.
I am today.
Gotcha.
Instructing, just educating, owning two businesses, you know, and just doing it's actually like you're living what you said you want, you're doing what you said you want to do 30 years ago, you're doing it today, but you really don't realize it because you're in it. So
Right.
yeah, that's
Right.
where I'm at today.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's wonderful, and congratulations on all the journey, like you said. Yeah, and it's interesting because I actually was a computer science major too, and it's like I didn't couldn't complete, so I didn't know that was one of your paths as well. So very interesting. You and I met, I guess, several years ago now. It's like
Hmm.
I don't even know how you found me, but I know that you were struggling with your income. So tell us a little bit about that, kind of what led you to find me and how you found me, if you remember.
Well, me and my mom had a conversation, and she always was like, "You need to go up on your prices." And so I'm hearing her in one ear, and I'm strolling on the internet. And then, of course, I came across Mickey Wright, and I seen the pricing strategy, and I seen the blueprint, and I was like, "I'm gonna just see what this is all about." I think you had a special going at the time. Was it during COVID? Or
Yeah, it had to
it
be
had to
because
be because I was
yeah,
just looking for help,
right.
whatever I could get help on. But that was one thing, and I was like, pricing blueprint. Let me give her a call. And your special is gonna end like that next day, I think. And then that's when I got in, and that's how
Okay.
me and you met. And just coming in, I was listening to everybody's story. I'm sitting there like, I am not by myself. Then I hear the people who were, took the class before I did, and they're talking about how they're doing and how everything's working for them. And I'm sitting there like, is it really that easy? Can it just happen for me like that? Well, my customers, like, not even my customers, I'll say the people that I service, because people can go anywhere they want to go. They're your customer for that moment. Not, you have loyal people that come to you all the time, but then people that come to you, I'll call them, just the people that I service at that moment. And I'm like, would they really, stay with me, or would they go? But it was kind of funny because they was like, by the time you go up, and I'm looking at them like, huh? That's like, I was wondering what was wrong with you. And I'm sitting there like, huh? You okay with paying this? So they didn't give me a fuss about it. You know,
Right.
some of them left, and it's okay because you left and you made room for somebody else to come.
Right.
I even
Right.
had a lady told me she didn't come to me because my prices were too low.
Uh-huh. So tell us more about that. And it looks like how you felt.
I felt like I do a good job. You know, I mean, every frog, you got to praise yourself. I do a good job. You know, I love healthy hair. I love making people feel good and look good. So I'm like, well, why did you say that? She said, because I mean, I felt like if you were charging $37 for a shampoo and style, like, what was I going to get? You know, I possibly couldn't get every, you know, I wouldn't have felt good coming to you. And I'm looking at her like, whoa. Like, okay. So it's a strategy to everything. And your pricing make people feel comfortable with you. You know, whether you're gonna give them something on a budget level or give them something on a luxury level. So where do
Right.
you want to put your business? You know, you can be budget, midstream, luxury. You know, and I thought I had to go out and do all this extravagant stuff to the shop, you know, changing this, doing that. And it wasn't about that. It was about the atmosphere. It's about me being a stylist and making a communication with them and then adding stuff to their service and make them feel comfortable and make them feel welcome. That's what it was all about.
Right. Right.
And then when
Yeah.
it all boils down to the, you know, what are you offering your clients?
Yeah. You
No, I
touched
don't give
on
no
something
wine.
so good.
I give them a bottle of water.
Okay.
Complimentary.
Yeah, you touched on something that's so big. I'm sorry to cut you off there,
That's fine.
but yeah, that is one of the things that comes up a lot. It's like, okay, well, I can't. There's all these reasons why you can't go up on your prices yet. Well, I can't go up on my prices yet because I have to, like, you know, and this is the extreme, but I have to redecorate my entire salon because it doesn't look luxury.
No.
So tell us, you know, what made you think that from, you know, before you kind of dived into everything?
Well, this, you know, because you know, of course, you're strolling on Facebook, you're strolling on all the social media sites, and people are showing you all this glitz and glamour. But I took a trip to someone's salon, and I will leave it nameless, okay?
Mhm.
And the only area that was glitz and glamour was the area that they were taking pictures in.
Okay.
And I was like, well, the top price from here was like $150 for shampoo and style. And they had plastic chairs sitting along the wall, like garden
Mhm.
chairs for clients to sit in.
Okay.
And
Uh-huh.
these people were comfortable paying $150 for shampoo and style. And I'm sitting there like, the only area that was really great was a break the room that they were getting styled in.
Okay.
Like, it was
Gotcha.
just a little area with like some little words, and I was sitting there looking like, why in my mind I think I gotta go through and spend a couple $1,000 make my shop look like something. No, it's clean, it's welcoming, the
Hmm.
ambiance is great. So therefore, when you come in, you're gonna get authentic Sheniqua, not
Right.
no dressed up, no crazy. No, you're gonna get just what you get, and I'm gonna give you great service with a great smile and invite you to come back again
Right.
with
And
arms
it
wide
works.
open, you know,
And it works, right?
and it works. It works.
Yeah. So take us back before, because tell us how long had it been since you had done a price increase or price change, price raise?
Okay. I started out in 1999. Of course, prices going probably like 15. Then it went to 25. And I was stuck at like 37 forever.
Hmm.
Okay. I was stuck at $37 for a shampoo and style until I met Miki.
Hmm.
And that was 2019. And it's sad to say that. How
Hmm.
can we survive? Products cost, everything is going up around us. How can you survive?
Hmm.
I mean, when I look at my products, it's like I'm spending more money on products and I'm actually, you know, paying myself. So my product person is getting more money than I'm actually paying myself. My business is making the money, but I'm not making anything.
Right.
So of course you have to sit down, and I'm glad I met Miki when I did, because it gave me a chance to lay everything on the table, see where my money's going, even down to chart. You know, just put when I do prices now, I add the price of toilet tissue, the pen they use, my lights, my water. I put that price in everything. I got to break it down. How much does this stuff cost per client? It's a little tedious, but you got to think like that,
Right.
because you got to get what you got. You have to make sure that you're comfortable at the end of the day. And then the pricing, not charging for the service, but I mean for the style, excuse me, but charging for the service that they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
If I charge by the style, that's where I found myself, really put myself in a pit hole, because what if this style took me 4 hours and I'm charging them $50, $60 for it? How much am I getting paid an hour? So I had to start looking at that as a whole. What am I getting for the hour that I'm spending with this client? And that made me come back to just again, putting down on paper, what am I worth for the hour? What am I worth? So that's how I started. That's how I now price my services, based
Mm-hmm.
off of the time that it takes, not the style that I do.
Right, right. And it's not just time, but it's like I talked to you guys about, time and experience
Time
and
and experience. I'm sorry. I was about to go into that, the experience, because if I go to school, I went to school.
mm-hmm.
I take all these classes, which I've done so many, spent so much money. If I'm going to elevate myself, then I need to elevate my pricing,
Mm-hmm.
because
Beautiful.
this stuff wasn't cheap. And
Yeah.
then it's a great thing when people around you, they ask you, when the last you've been to a class, what did you learn new this week? Or what did you learn new? They ask you because they're interested. And I
Right.
like that. And then I always make a little joke. Well, you asking me, what classes I went to. So, this price about to go up again. And they look at me and say, well, you being funny now, right? No, it's about to go up again. Trust me. The more I invest in me, the more you got to invest in me. So
I want to even take a step back, because we were talking about, how long your prices were, like the $37. And if I'm not mistaken, it's like I remember being like about 15 years that you didn't raise your prices. Is that
15 years.
accurate? Yeah.
Yes.
And I understand you said your mom was telling you that you needed to raise your prices, and your clients didn't tell you till after. Was that right? Or were they telling you before too?
Afterwards.
After, okay. So what was it like? Because it's like a lot of people get really stuck there, where it's like, I can't raise my prices. What were your thoughts about why you couldn't raise your prices, or why you didn't raise your prices, even though you had, your mom, who you love and value, saying to you, come on, Sheniqua, we got to do this. What?
Well, one reason, and I just had this conversation the other day, um, it was based off of you being loyal.
Okay.
Okay?
Talk
Being
to us
loyal.
about that.
And you got people coming to you, and you want to make sure you want to stay busy. At that time, everybody was based off of busyness. Having a book, having your books booked, the shop full of people waiting. And I would look around, and I just got kind of sick of it one day, but I didn't know how to exit it. Like, it just made me sick. Like, I got all these people waiting, and I'm like, I'm gonna be here forever. It got to be a different way. And I didn't have nobody to talk to about it, because every stylist around me were doing the same thing I was doing. It's kind of like you follow suit. So we didn't really have nobody to really talk to bring us out of where we're at. And by the time I met Miki, I was already burnt out anyway, wanted to quit. And I think I did. I walked away for a couple of years. I had a car accident, and it kind of put me in a position where I had to leave for about 2 or 3 years. Then I came back, and I think that's when I met Miki. And I said, well, if I'm coming back, I have to come back, and I have to do things a little bit different. I don't want to live, like this. I don't want to do business like this anymore. So it's kind of like it was a match made in heaven. Me meeting her at the same time, coming together, and then making the business, explode into something different. Now people got respect. So I thought I was respecting them by giving them a lower price. And then this hairstyle lasted 2 weeks and a month. Well, now you're going to pay me for them 2 weeks and a month.
Right.
So don't come tell me that your hairstyle going to last you longer than 2 weeks. Because if it does, I want to get paid for the 2 weeks.
I've created a monster.
You thinking you're doing something for them, but you're not actually. You're just working yourself to the bone, burning yourself out. And I thought that was just a way to do it. I thought it was a way to do business, because I didn't have a business sense about the business.
Right. Right.
And I think more stylists and barbers and estheticians and anybody who's in the beauty grooming industry, you need to have a mentor. You need to have someone that you can talk to about, pricing your businesses, just about doing business, period. Because you just can't, you can walk in and just do business. And that's what I did for the last, 20 years or, Yeah, I did business. I just thought I was doing business. Put it like that.
Hmm. Right, right. So you came, you found me, and you kind of jumped right in. Was there anything that was like the thing that said, let me try this, or this is exactly what I need? What were your thoughts before you decided to
I
jump in?
I did it fear. I did it full of fear.
Okay.
I did it full of fear. I didn't look back because I knew I needed it. I knew I needed guidance. And then I again hear my mom in my ear, you do a good job, you're working yourself crazy, I mean, I even passed out at work one night and she wasn't having that. She was like, you're gonna stop for me. You need to stop and get control of this. But I'm glad I met you when I did, because I just jumped in. I did it with fear. I was like, I don't know what's gonna be the outcome of this. But the first week, when I tell you, when you write the vision and make it plain, it was plain to me. It was plain. I could see. I might have was blind back then, but I can see
Okay.
clearly right now.
Yeah,
you know,
clarity is always the first step.
they're
Yeah.
always the first step. Even with the clients, just writing down what I'm doing daily, like using Miki strategies on the daily, on the weekly, on the monthly. Like, you don't know what you're doing if you don't write it down.
Right.
And I won't tell you that I strayed away from the plan, but guess what? I had to go back to the plan because I see what the plan was doing, and I'll be the first one to say, sometimes you get lazy and you just get, go back to the no, 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 no. Let me stick with this plan. I went and found my book quickly. The rebooking of the clients is important. Just knowing where you at with your numbers is important, so you can project what you're going to do for the next couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I needed, and now that I have another business, I needed even more, but I need her for something else now. I don't know how much that will cost, but I need it for something else. Because we open a business, it's a whole different, just different when you're doing
Right.
a chain of barbershops versus an independent barbershop.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, congratulations. I think that's awesome. It's like I love hearing your progress and seeing you, kind of blossom. And it's been a really short time because I think everybody thinks it's longer than it has been, but it's like I didn't launch the first session until I think it was June of 2021. So it's just been a little over 2 years. And I know several people who've had several
Wow.
different price changes since then. It's like, and they're like, oh, I did it each year. It's like, it hasn't been that many years. But it's like I love that you're looking at and seeing the business and making the decisions based on that. And one of the other things I think that people kind of fear is like, when you talk about getting into the numbers, it's like with what I teach, the way that I teach, it's not about like spreadsheets and all kinds of different things. So what was that piece like for you, kind of getting into the numbers? Was that something that you said you strayed once you got on it, which we all, could fall off and get back on. But what was that piece like for you?
Well, daily, just knowing, okay, I went to work, and I had a chance to like just write down the people that I did, the services that I did, the products that I sold, if any at all. Seeing just, okay, before I might have was doing double this amount of people to make
Mm.
this amount of money.
Mm.
And it kind of, it opened my eyes up so clear, like I didn't need all those clients. I just needed to have it priced the right way. So once I started seeing less people on my sheet, and I'm sitting here like, but I'm making the same amount of money doing less people, making more actually, to be honest, but it just helped me to gain control of finances, and I still need help in that area, to some point as well. And just knowing and just seeing the projection, like I said before, I'm doing this person is rebooking. I get this, make sure I stay on top of who's coming. I don't have to guess what I'm going to be doing the next week, the next month, not even the next year, because they already said, okay, go ahead and put me in for this date, this date. They kind of getting on the clients are actually jumping aboard. Like, all right, I need to rebook. It's kind of like I'm learning something, I'm getting taught something, and then I'm showing that I'm they hear me saying, okay, make sure you read book, and then they're duplicating. Okay, we gotta read the book. We gotta read book, and I'm like,
Right.
wow, they understand this process. I don't know if they understand it, that how it's working for me, but I like the fact that they don't mind saying, let me be booked for the next 3 months. I love it,
Mm-hmm.
and I get to see my numbers. Sometimes they go up, they go down, but I get to see it, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel really, really good. It made me
Good.
feel really good.
Yeah.
And then it was something else I meant to say. I had a brain fog. It'll come back. I was talking. It'll come back.
While you're waiting for that to come back, because I trust it will, what did you learn about yourself in the process?
Whew. I learned that I am the most valuable person. Without me, of course, they can go anywhere they want to, but they chose to come to me, and they chose to, be in my presence at that time. And if I'm going to sit here, and I have that where I only service like one person at a time now, not a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it made, for my body, for my mind, for my soul, it just gave me a peace of mind. And I'm not over anxious. I'm not, I'm trying to rush because I got somebody else coming in. I know my timing. I know
Mm-hmm.
how long it's going to take me to do this service. And so I got this person, and we're having a conversation. So it takes a lot off of my body and my mind and just make me feel better about being a stylist in this era. Because I'm not overworked, I'm not underpaid. Everything is working for me. I can't speak for nobody else, but I can say it's working for me. And it's crazy when people come in, they be like, are you busy? Do you have any appointments available? And I'll be like, no, you can book for next week or the week after. Well, nobody's here. How you going to you don't got nobody sitting here waiting? And I'm like, no, ma'am, because I do appointments only, and it's like, well, I can't get in. Well, you ain't got nobody. You can do me right quick. No, I can't. And I don't mind saying no. Let me say that. I don't mind saying no. Like I want everybody business, but I don't need everybody business. So when people come in, if you're too tired, you don't have to say yes to everybody. If they can't wait on you, let them go somewhere else. It's okay, because you will be all right. You will be all right.
Right, right. That's huge. That's huge. Even just the saying no part. What were you tell us about Sheniqua before and saying no?
Oh, come on in. Yeah, sit on down. I got you. My client 20 minutes late. Come on. I'll get it. Come on. Let me go ahead and get you started. I'll just try to please. I was a pleaser. That's what I was going to say earlier. I was a people's pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
I would please you. I wanted to make sure I didn't not service nobody. I want to make sure, it was a numbers thing. Like, how many clients can you do in a day? And I'll tell you right now, it was a lot. Like, I was joking earlier with Miki. I say trying to make $1,000 in a week, probably doing about 200 people, 300, no more, no more.
Yeah, you don't have to do all of that.
No,
There is a better way.
there is a better way. Yes.
You tell us about the saying no. You said no, you just be like, come on in, come on in. I can squeeze you in. I could, all of that. What was
Yeah.
the response from your clients when you started saying no?
That when I was saying no, they're just trying to keep going. Like, well, you don't have nobody, and I'm like, I understand I don't have nobody right now, but I have client, have someone that's coming in about 15 minutes.
Right.
And so one time I had to I had to explain to her why I couldn't take her. I'm cleaning it up, preparing for the next customer to come in, and so you can, here's my appointment book, here's my booking link. You can go and check it out. Book yourself. This is what it is, So and they'll look at me and walk out the door and just be seeing stuff, but I can't worry about that. I can't worry about that. I can't.
Right, right.
You
And that
know,
takes a lot to get to where
it
you
takes a lot because I'm pretty sure the old Sheniqua was thinking about the bills she had to pay. She was thinking about what she wanted to do, or I can make this extra $37. The old Sheniqua probably thinking, let me go ahead and get this in right quick. Let me go ahead. But the new Sheniqua, has a business sense. She wants to take care of her body. She wants to make sure she has time to, go home and eat dinner. She want to make sure that she value the person in her chair time and give them what they need, but at the same time enjoying her life. That's what the new Sheniqua do. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what does your mom say?
I'll be on her. Come on, let's go do something. You need to go to work.
So you have free time.
You don't got no clients today. You don't got nothing to do. But because, I just laugh, So hey, get to spend more time with her,
Nice.
Getting on her nerve because I do.
Tell us, how did you kind of transition from, when you graduated the course and, revamped the way that you did business? How did you expand into what you're doing now? You're, having a second location and looking at franchises and all of that. So tell us a little bit about that transition, because that sounds very exciting.
It is. So coming into the blueprint, and that's what it is, a blueprint. It is a blueprint because it helps you order your steps and get you to where you need to be at. You might not, you could be thinking one thing, but when you actually put it down, again, you write the vision, you make it plain. Once I finished with the graduated, I started just I think it just gave me a sense of, you can do whatever you put your mind to. And when you do things afraid, you tend to, you go in and you don't look back. You just keep moving. And that's what I did. I didn't look back. I just jumped in and I just kept going. And taking everything that Miki gave me and applying it to my life daily. The affirmations, we can go to the affirmations. And with the affirmation that she gave us, as a master, as a stylist, and you reading it to yourself every day, I am outpriced and I am the most expensive stylist in my area. Yes, I am. And I'm proud to say it, just saying those daily, those affirmations, it do something to you. It just do something to you. And the poem is my favorite because I think I told you, like, I got this in my phone. Like, I keep this poem. I've had that poem on me since like probably in the 90s. Like, I've had that poem ever since I got out of college. Like, I had that poem. I had it in my view, not knowing how powerful it was. And then here it is surfacing 20 some years later. You're giving it to me again. So the affirmations, the poem, all the drills that we did, just making sure that, seeing how you felt by just saying, I charge $500 for a haircut. Yeah, I charge $500 for a haircut. And I'm not going to look at you and think nothing less about it, because that's what I charge. I feel better. I feel more comfortable, and I feel confident in letting you know what my price is without saying, well, I charge, $100, $500 for a haircut. No, I can say it with confidence because that's what I mean. And that's what I want. So. And now with the locations coming, when I got the call about it, when I opened up the one I have now, I had no clue that a second one was coming, like within less than a year. I had no clue. I couldn't see that far. But when I got the call, it's like, hey, I got something for you. And I'm like, what is it? You want to do another location? And I'm like, really? And so I just sat on it for about maybe 2 months before I even thought about it, even plainly. Then I said, you know what, I can do it. This is what I said I wanted to do years ago. I wanted to make sure that I could have a place for people, for barbers and stylists, who are getting out of school, who don't have a plan, that you can't get out of school and go work for someone who's charging you booth rent. You can't do that because first of all, you don't have a clientele, and all they see is dollar signs because you're just a person filling up a seat in their chair. And so I want to stop that. I want to actually put a stop to that. And I can't do it worldwide, but I can do it just in the area that I'm in. So people can feel more comfortable when they come out. They got a place they can come work. And I was scared about commission because I didn't know anything about commission, because all I heard all my life was booth rent. But with commission, it makes so much sense. When you got stylists who are 40 years, 50 years, or 60 years in that, have been doing hair, come to you and say, I'm proud of what you're doing. Keep going. Commission. I wish I would have stayed on commission base. And I'm looking at them like, can I come work for you? And I'll say, anytime. But why would you want to come work for me knowing that you've been out on your own doing booth rental or owning your own business for so many years? But it makes, what they told me made sense, and that's another story for another day. All right. But the second location came into play, and I'm getting ready to do a third location as well. So like I said, I'm doing it afraid. I'm just jumping out. And I just thank Miki for just, when I was searching for something, I thank her for just being there, at that moment, at that time. And like I said, I didn't second guess nothing. My bank account was probably in the zero when I jumped in. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Just do it afraid. Don't worry about it. Everything else will come to you. It'll come to you close. Yeah.
Right. That's beautiful. And congratulations on all the opportunities that are opening up. And I think that's the key is that, I think it's a Martin Luther King quote that says, you don't have to be able to see the whole staircase to take the first step. It's like take that step and then what, beyond, that next step. And then it's like, oh, okay, we're going to wind a little bit on this step. Okay, this stairway. And you just let it unfold and unveil right before you. So yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you for that word too, because that's what you do. You just take the first step,
Yeah.
And everything else just comes. If you're in the right path, you have to worry about or question anything because it just comes to you. People come to you. I'm just grateful for the people that that are working in the business now. They just came, they just wanted to work. They came. So because my goal was I can advertise all I want for people to come work, but I'm not gonna look for you. You know who you are, so just come on and join the team.
Yeah, and you're saying that as we're in a place, where a lot of the country's like, oh, I can't find anybody, I can't find good help, and this, that, and the other. And this, there's always good people out there, and it's really setting yourself up to attract them. So I commend you for that as well. Before we wrap up, just tell us, like, time frame wise, what the blueprint, time frame wise, what that blueprint took for you to complete the course and kind of start to see some results. Or did you see results before you completed the course? Because sometimes people are like, oh, it's going to take years. And it's like, it's not a long process.
The first week. Listen, just following each step, and the homework that we had to do for those, I think it was a week. By the next week, I've seen results. By the next month, I've seen major results. Like, I could tell you that I can't remember exactly how many people. 40 people in that month. I remember it because I think I told you, Miki. I did. It was 40 people that month. Just 40, not 40 a week. 40 people. And I remember my first month, it was 40 people, and it was like $4,000 to be exact. Yes, 40 people. Not 40 people a week, 40 people a month that month. And that was repeat and rebook and rebook and rebook. Yes. Because I was so excited, like, oh my God, I didn't have to work to kill myself.
Right.
So I can tell any stylist, it takes time to get to where Miki and myself, it takes time to get to where we are, but we are how they said, the horn, the ears, are we, how's the saying going? Are we the horns or the ears? The horns grow, the ears are already here. So we are the ears, we're trying to help, other stylists, manifest into what they need to be. Now, now social media make it seem like you can just get there so quick, but there's a process. There's a process you have to go through. You have to go through, the good, the bad, and the ugly to get to where we are. None of us can say we got here and no mistakes were made. We can't say we got here, we didn't stumble and fall, because we did, and we still will. Because without that, you can't see your growth. Right. And your growth does not measure on how much money that you made. Or that you're making. It's all about the things that you're doing, the people lives that you're changing, and the people who are changing your lives. I know I always tell my students when I'm teaching, if you think you have arrived, dig a hole and just die, because you can't go nowhere else. If you can't learn, if you stop wanting to learn daily, then dig
Right.
a hole for yourself. If y'all can't teach you nothing, just go ahead and dig a hole and fall in it. Because even being at 46 years old, I want to learn as much as I can, and I will take a class, I will read a book, I will listen to audio, I will call somebody, talk to them, but teach me. I
Mm-hmm.
want to know. I mean, I just want to know and make sure that I'm getting all the fruits that I need to progress and to grow. Someone told me before, um, she said, you can count the seeds in an apple, but you cannot count how many apples are in that seed.
Mm.
So whatever is being said today, trust me, when Mickey's giving me what I needed for my life, I'm going to talk about it to a lot of people. And those people are going to talk about it to a lot of people and more people. So this is going to spread around the world, even when we're not here no longer, but it will spread around the world into different homes and different businesses. And I think it's needed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beauty superstars. I'm so glad I stumbled upon her. I'm so glad. I'm so forever grateful. Thank you, Mickey.
Well, thank you, Sheniqua. I'm so glad that you were able to join us today and really share, from your heart and from your experience, what it was like for you. Because I think there's so many more people who, may be thinking they need to do it, but kind of hesitating, and they may
Mm-hmm.
see or hear something that you said that was like, oh, yeah, I do need this. This can work for me, because I think sometimes that's the hesitation. It's like, well, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it will work for me.
It
And
will. You just got to apply it. You set it and forget it. Just set it in, do the steps. You got to take the time out to do the steps. You got to. That's
yeah,
the most important thing. It's there for a reason. Then that way you can see, see everything. When God in the Word, it says, write the vision, make it plain. I use that all the time. When you write it down, you see it, and it just
right.
become plain to you. And just we
Yeah.
all got to go back to that. Just write it down. Just write it
Okay.
down. I write on
Absolutely.
paper. I write on napkins. I write on anything. Oh, even on my shirt.
Everything.
I write the vision.
Absolutely. Just a thought, just to tell people it's not really like a course, because it's like everything you're learning is being implemented into your business
Mhm.
right away. It's not like something like, oh yeah, I took that and it just is sitting on your shelf. It's something that is living and breathing, and like you say, a blueprint.
It's a blueprint, and
Yeah.
it works. I'm telling you, within the second week, just applying it, I saw a major difference. By the fourth week, I was like, "Whoa, this is real. This is serious." It scared me. I'm not gonna tell you no lie. It scared me. Like, how can this be happening to me? A $37 lady. But hey, yeah.
Yeah, well, congratulations on taking the step, doing it afraid, and just, blossoming from this point forward, from that point forward. So
Yes, ma'am.
super proud of you, and I appreciate your time and your sharing today. And I just want to thank everybody for being here. And, if you have any questions, comments, what have you, it's like definitely leave them below. It's like definitely, subscribe, like, comment. And if there's someone who needs this, like Sheniqua's mom was pushing her, if there's somebody you're pushing to make some changes in their life and in their business, to definitely feel free to share it with them. So
Hmm.
again, my name is Miki Wright. I'm with Your Pricing Matters, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon. It's like I want to encourage you, if you are having challenges with your pricing, to definitely get my free download, which is at beautysuperstars.com/keys. And it's what I call my pricing cheat sheet, and gives you at least a framework or a little window into this world of making those changes with not only your pricing, but your life and your career.
Yes.
So thank you, Sheniqua.
Thank you.